from around 1960. So it's not super old, but it's pretty old. And like apparently, so the lore is that pump organs were kind of designed like this so they can be taken out with like the military when they're on deployed, so that even on the battlefield they can just pull out this like suitcase and have like a little chapel worship service or whatever. My grandmom bought this pump organ in 1960, 1961, somewhere in the early 60s, and used it on the Navajo reservation in Arizona, this one, to go to like different people's houses because she was a missionary. Her and my granddad were a missionary there. Were missionaries. They weren't a missionary. They were two missionaries, and they would take this pump organ to different people's houses that weren't able to make it to their worship service every week. So they would kind of take this all over the reservation in northern Arizona to all these different people's places so they could have like a little worship service. They just pack it up, put it in the back of their vehicle, and drive to wherever the next person's house was across the wash. And it's lasted for quite a while in the family. So I'm not sure. So I kind of just unofficially took it from my dad. So when I was like I was probably like 19 or 20, maybe a little younger than that. Me and my brother Daniel went up into our attic, and we just we knew this thing existed, but we just kind of hunted it down and brought it out of the attic from mom and dad's house, and we've used it a lot on like random projects and stuff, and then. Over the years, I kept using it for random stuff, and I just ended up not putting it back one day and just kind of keeping it. I don't know. Also, I don't know how Dad got it. When Dad got it from Granny Julia, I don't know if he just kind of did the same thing. He just unofficially took it, and now we just steal it down from generation to generation. So that's how it's gonna be. It's not gonna be passed down. It's gonna be stolen down for hundreds of years. On Jonathan Strickland stuff. That was super fun. That was probably it's got like its most prominent part on the Jonathan Strickland stuff, where it's like a featured instrument, not just in the background. Did we ever use it on some of the trial transition stuff from before? We never did.
We did use it at UNC Pembroke that time.
We used it when you were in
for
college.
One of my projects.
And you were doing one of your audio engineering classes. We put it on one of those. I forgot about that. That was super fun.
Yeah.
It might be on the Luminosity album somewhere, but I really doubt it. We really haven't used it for enough stuff. We've used it a lot live. When we would do acoustic sets and stuff, it's like a cool accordion sounding, but much bigger sounding than an accordion. But it's very accordion sounding instrument. It sounded cool with a lot of stuff live. I used it with Mike Blair and the Stonewalls, but not on any of the recordings. We used it live 4 or 5 different times, again, doing these acoustic sets. So it's hard to say for sure. We've probably recorded it on only 4 or 5 different songs, but I've played it hundreds of hours of playing it in random acoustic sets and just goofing off with it, of course, But yeah, it's gotten a lot of use for sure. I've broken a couple more of the black keys off. And I'm not sure where all of those have gone these days.
They're on vacation.
They are, yeah. The black keys are taking a break. This is by a company called Marco Polo, and it is a reed organ. And we call it affectionately a pump organ because we're idiots and we're okay with calling it the wrong thing. Keys, like a normal keyboard. There's nothing crazy about that except there's a few missing. And right here and here are these vents where there are these little reeds inside. If I took this front case off, you could pull out this whole rack of reeds. There's 2 reeds for every key because it's got 2 different octaves all the way up and down. And so the 2 different reeds, it basically, as you press a key, it opens that reed and it blows wind across it. Where it gets wind, though, is from these pedals that you pump. You see this little bellow right here that opens up? That just pumps air across the reeds. So I look like I'm running a marathon when I'm playing this thing real loud. And then you have these, which are the knee boards or knee flaps or knee something, I don't remember. This one opens the 2nd octave, so when this is closed, it's just 1 octave, and as this opens up, it gets a little louder with a 2nd octave. This is like a really, really, really faint, muffly kind of sound. So when it's closed, it's a little bit muffled, and as you open up, it's like kind of turning the volume up a little bit. It's completely wide open. So you've got these 2 knee boards, paddles, knee thingamajiggers that we're using to control the volume and the tone, and the pedals also for all the air that you're getting in the keys. And then it all just translates into these reeds that come out here sounding like a big, humongous accordion. We're using it on the closing track of the newest Trial Transition Advance album, which is going to be awesome. I think it's like on that song that we're using it on, it's just 2 instruments, and this has this almost like orchestral feel to it where like you know it's not, but it almost feels like a whole orchestra of like a big string section playing along. It sounds awesome.